Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Fire, Breathe, and Rob. If you look for that on the YouTube, it's FIREBREATHINROB. Now, there's a space between fire, breathing, which is one word, and Rob. I got to say that because I have some friends that I guess they've become friends that ask me, I'm searching for this on YouTube and I can't find it. It's FIREBREATHIN, one word, space ROB. And also, thanks for the people that listen to us on the radio also. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things through the next couple of months, but I wanted to kick this topic around. We talk about a lot of businesses in trouble, and for people that are out of work, which it's the majority of the whole country is pretty much out of work besides supermarkets, CVS, and Walgreens. Everybody else is down on their luck, which is really unfortunate. But I want to talk about an industry and event planning in general with somebody that I've just learned about, and she seems like she definitely knows what she's doing. And she is from the beautiful city of Boca Raton, where I lived for 5.5 years. This is Lynne Goldberg, and she is the founder and president of Boca Entertainment, which she has clients in South Florida, but also in New York City and Las Vegas. Lynne, thanks so much for coming on the program. Greatly appreciate your time.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure to be here.
All right, so Lynne, before we get into the thick of things of the coronavirus, and how it's affected your business and business in general, can you speak about what Boca Entertainment is?
Sure. I actually founded Boca Entertainment almost 20 years ago. I started out as an entertainment company where I was supplying entertainment for events. And then we grew into a full planning company where we do soup to nuts, event planning, weddings, bar mitzvahs, corporate, galas, fundraisers, basically all different types of events.
Right. So with that going on, and we've talked about in our other conversations on the program, people from anywhere from Disney workers we've had on here also, a girl that's worked at Universal too, talking about the struggle with that. At least they're getting paid, and kudos to Disney for doing that. But how has your business been affected by the coronavirus? It seems like everybody's really struggling right now.
The event industry is definitely struggling. I mean, we're not even allowed to have events.
Right.
So it's really been a tough industry to be in, obviously. At the moment, we've been postponing events, we've been canceling events, we've been doing anything that we can, to kind of help people, because it's very emotional. I mean, especially with the weddings, you plan for a year to have an event, you work with somebody, people are very excited it's coming up, and now, of course, everything is being postponed, canceled, or changed in some way.
Are you worried about, when everything, somewhat comes back to normal, that, you could be overbooking things? Like, for instance, we talked a little bit before this interview about having a friend that does weddings, and I spoke to him, and he said he has 40 weddings in October. And I'm thinking to myself, how the hell are you going to do 40 weddings in 1 month? That's insane. Are you not going to sleep? So are you worried about that, when this ends, whether it's 2 months or 3 months down the road, and we finally get the economy back up and kicking, hopefully that it'll kick that fast, that you may be, busy as a bee?
I guess I'm never worried about being too inundated with, with work. But what I did do was I recommended to all my clients to quickly reschedule, because what I was worried about is actually getting them a new date, especially wedding clients, because they want to get married as quickly as possible. And then by the time we were calling up the venues to try to get a new date, the dates weren't available because there were people who had already booked that date, a year ago, who just happened to have that date. So just finding a date for everybody was a challenge. So yes, I'm concerned that if people haven't booked already, a new date, they could be in trouble. I mean, some people aren't able to book until next year, so yes. And I do believe the industry will come back very strongly. So yeah. Absolutely. But at this point, I'm very much looking forward to that because how many closets can you do in your house? No.
So you work with all kinds of different people. As you said, you plan for a vast number of events, birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings, etc. So you work with a lot of DJs, bands, and
Absolutely.
people want if they want animals or whatever it may be at their parties, you get it done. Now, have you spoke to any of those people? Because some of the DJs, you can make some real good money, and bands make a lot of money doing that. But, if you're out of work for 3 or 4 months, the electric bill doesn't stop coming. The mortgage on your house, you got to pay that. All these bills
Exactly.
don't stop coming. And when you're unemployed and you don't have that money coming in, then you're out on your luck. So how are the people that you work with dealing with this crisis?
A lot of the people are truly looking for something else to do to make money in the interim, because especially like you say, DJs and bands, they're not getting booked. There's nowhere to play. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like there's any work out there. And then to plan for future events, the few people that have called us for future events, of course, that's not for months. So the income is really a problem. But I have been speaking to a lot of people I work with, and they are looking for other means of income at the moment.
Let's dive into this. We see that the government has given they're about to they passed the stimulus bill. Some families will get $1,200 checks, and then if you have kids, you get $500 for the kid. I think that's good, and it'll help a lot of families. But if you live in high rent districts such as where you've worked in New York, and in where I live in Boca, somebody that, this is for people that I believe, I don't know the technical terminology, but if you make more than, I think it's like $100,000 for, family, then you don't get anything. So people that live in New York, people that live in, places like Boca Raton or West Palm Beach, Miami, they're going to get screwed out of this deal because they're not going to be able to get this cash.
Exactly.
So how is that affecting, people that you said you work with a lot of people in South Florida, and I know the area extremely well, as do you, that's going to hurt them also because they're not going to be getting that kind of money.
Right. And let's be honest, even that kind of money, like how far does that really go?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
nothing.
that's
Yeah.
$1,200. Yes, it's wonderful to get $1,200, but it isn't going to pay the bills for the next 3 months. I mean, let's be honest about that. And some of the other things that are being offered are loans. So the one thing that's scary is, even if you can get a loan to keep your business going, you don't want to, come out of this and then have to pay back a $50,000 loan. So yes, it's helpful, but unless you don't have to pay it back, it's really not the greatest solution either.
Lynn, I was in Boca in 2012, had an apartment, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. It was small as anything. I was paying $800 a month, and that was right near FAU. I can imagine, and it was in a good kind of a senior citizen area, nice people and stuff. I can imagine what the guy's charging now. Like I said, that was 2012. So just that, if I was to get $1,200, through the stimulus, that may pay me 1 month on rent in that apartment.
You got it. If you're lucky, because now the rents are even double that. I mean, it's really
it's a joke. It's really a scam.
But again, every little bit helps. So
agreed. So let's
something.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say it's still nice to get something, but
agreed.
But it's just very fun.
Have you spoke to anybody, and what do we hear a lot about, you just kind of spoke about the loans for small businesses and with stimulus. Have you heard anything from the Florida state government or also the federal government? Because you guys are losing money, as is every other company in America, about getting some kind of stimulus or loan?
I mean, I know I've been approached. I know that we can get loans. There are, for the industry, there's definitely event loans. But once again, as I said, it's not as if you don't have to pay them back. So they're really offering us loans. But again, eventually you're going to be sitting there with a loan that you have to pay back in a couple of months.
Right. So let's talk about this. So let's say they finally get this under control in 3 months. Between us, I think we can both agree that the economy's not going to just, when the coronavirus ends, just say, okay, we're back to normal. There's still going to be some people that are sick. It's still going to be people that have lost jobs. I look into the service industry, being in the state of Florida and being in an area with a lot of tourism, such as South Florida, Orlando, Tampa area too. The question is, with all the money lost in a lot of these tourism places, these hotels going to bring a lot of these jobs back? Are they going to cut costs? So we look at that. As far as your industry goes, with a lot of these people, maybe their jobs won't come back, even if they're not in the tourist industry. Maybe if they're in a different industry, or maybe their business may cut costs. Are you worried about that? That it may really take a long time, for this crisis to really get the economy started again with that?
I have two ways of looking at it. I mean, one
Sure.
way that I think people are going to be very excited to be able to do again, to be able to make a celebration, to be out there again.
Right.
And I think in that respect, people will want to celebrate again. So they're actually going to want to have events and parties. And again, going back to weddings, I think people will still want to get married. I think what may happen is they may cut the budgets. They may have less to spend. On the other hand, people do put away money for weddings. So in that respect, I think they still will want to have a wedding. Like, I think the industry is going to come back. It will just come back differently. As terms of being a planner, they may want to do it themselves, as opposed to hiring a planner, so that it might be on a lesser scale that they're actually having the celebrations, the events.
So what adjustments, is your business and the people that also work as far as in the other industries with you, as far as adjustments to the business to get through, all the, the hardship that's going on now and, throughout the crisis in general?
I think what's going to happen is people are going to take jobs that maybe otherwise they may not have taken. So that, it might be the type of thing just to get back working, where some people will be able to even, get out there and get people who would otherwise maybe not work for that type of an event or that type of gala, and now they will be working that type of a gala. I think people are just going to be very happy to be working again.
All right, and that is the end of our interview. Lynne Goldberg, can you tell people where they can find more about Boca Entertainment if they would like to speak to you on any kind of engagements coming up?
Absolutely. You can find me at bocaentertainment.com and the Lynne Goldberg Group.
All right, Lynne, thanks so much for your time. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.